I invite you to come see us. Come see us firsthand. I mean, we're an open book. We want you to come see this facility. We want you to engage with our students. We want to make a difference for this nation. One day, the history books are going to be written one way or another. And I'm hoping what it's going to say is we tackled this problem, we tackled this challenge. Our Navy was able to get everything they needed to continue protecting our freedom. We've got to get these submarines built. We've got to get these ships built. It's paramount for our national security.
Welcome to another episode of Inside IALR. Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining us today. We have talked a ton on this podcast about the ATDM program. That's Accelerated Training in Defense Manufacturing. I think, generally when we have those discussions, we're focusing on the student impact and kind of focusing on it from that angle, which this program transforms lives. I think it's simple to say that. But we haven't talked as much about the impact that this program is making for the maritime industrial base and the companies who are producing parts and components that are ultimately used in the production and maintenance of ships and submarines. So that's kind of the angle we're going to take today, is kind of hearing directly from companies who are, taking ATDM graduates and putting them in their workforce, how this program is helping them. So I guess to start, I will just kind of turn it over to each of you guys to introduce yourself, say your name, kind of what company you're with. Yeah, just kind of hear a little bit about who you are.
Hey, everyone. I'm Mike Villanueva. I am the Talent Outreach Manager with BAE Systems, and been with the company for 16 years, and we work very closely with ATDM.
Yeah, I'm Michael Ripich, from CEO of AT&F. We're a fabricator of large-scale products. We say we build, protect, energize, and move the world through metal fabrication. We serve the naval programs with large-scale custom critical fabrications for things like weapon systems and propulsion systems and structural. So, and we've been working with ATM for several years now, and it's been a terrific experience for us, and it's transformed how we think about training and sourcing and training and retention.
All right, I'm Justin Scarce. I'm the Assistant Director of Industry Engagement here with the ATDM program. Been working with employers like AT&F and BAE Systems for just a little over 3 years now. I think we have just over 200 companies that are what we call participants in the program, and would love to explore opportunities to get more folks on board.
What I want to ask next, and Mike 1 and Mike 2, we'll go with those names for you guys. I kind of want to hear about how you/your company heard about ATDM and decided to get involved, and kind of what those, I guess, what were those first impressions? What were those initial thoughts when you first heard about this program?
At BAE Systems, we have a lot of partners in our business areas that are consistently looking for opportunities for us to find great talent. And so from our Jacksonville facility, I got some communications from one of my colleagues there that had seen an article about ATDM and, the maritime industrial base. And so they asked me to take a look into finding out a little bit more about it. And so my initial contact was with Justin, and I came to the Danville location a couple of years ago. And my first impression was that I was extremely fascinated about the training that was given to the students there. I liked that it was a quick turnaround, and I like the opportunities that the students are given for, training with industry partners that have been like our welders that we have. I know they have one welding instructor that used to work at one of the shipyards, which is very closely to what we are always looking for. So I was super impressed on the trainers, the instructors, and the staff there at ATDM. So that was my initial impression. I have to say, one of the questions that I guess Justin probably hears quite often is, why Danville out in the middle of central Virginia, no water around? And so I was kind of intrigued of why they were selected for this opportunity to train with the Navy. So he told me the story, and so I was impressed, and we started building a relationship with ATDM.
Yeah, Mike, I'll jump in here. I remember when you came down. I think I called you on. I guess you could call that our anniversary from when you first came down, because it was on Valentine's Day. Uh, yeah, that'll stick with me forever. But I guess we'll be 3 years coming up pretty soon. Um, but yeah, glad to get BAE Systems on board. I know in the early days, and I'm sure we'll talk about it a little bit more, but had some NDT hires out at the Norfolk location, and then now Jacksonville has jumped in. Um, I mean, just right in the pool with us. Pretty much every career fair for the past couple. Lots of job offers going out. Welders going down there to do some good work. So appreciate you being a part of us.
Absolutely.
So I'll jump in. Our introduction to ATDM came via our participation in early on in our participation in the talent pipeline program. We were part of the second, I guess, flag that had been set. And the talent pipeline program, for those that don't know, was an initiative stood up by what was then the Submarine Industrial Base Office, now known as the MIB. And they were intent on providing best practices to the industrial base employers regarding attraction and retention of talent, which was and still is a critical issue, but at the time was post COVID, or just amidst and post COVID was just a terrible crisis for us, as well as everybody in the industrial base. And so the talent pipeline program, the Pittsburgh's flag that we were part of that framework, which is talking about what you do in terms of attraction of talent and retention through sound middle management, is, I guess you would say, the best the strategy that was employed in training up your middle managers to be better advocates and better managers for for your operations. Part of that whole framework was talking about the connection to training and education in the community and in the local community, perhaps around Pittsburgh, and we're in Cleveland, Ohio. Um, but part of that training network was ATDM, and it was probably the main thrust was to say this was the example of what can be done by focusing on a lot of effort on what's exactly needed in terms of trade skills and shortages in manpower in particular areas that are affecting the shipyards as well as the industrial base. And so that's where we learned about ATDM and was somewhat skeptical of its relevance to us in Cleveland. However, was learned to, and it's been terrific to be working with ATDM. Made a trip out with some of my team to the campus, and that really was an eye opener to see everything that had been put together there. And since then, we've had several students that have come from the program, and we've sent several to the program, and it's an integral part of how we're looking at our growth, and in particularly in the areas of NDT and welding, and soon to be we're going to be focusing on machining and some of the other pursuits. Pretty much everything that's involved in all the aspects of ATDM. Yeah, the 5 tracks are integral to our. We've been utilizing and have plans to utilize all 5 tracks in terms of our growth, of our plan for growth for our team members.
Yeah, Mike, believe it or not, there's still a lot of skepticism. I get it from employers. We hear it from students. Even when they come here, like day one, they can't believe it when they show up. That this is the real deal. And I think that y'all are well aware of that. Obviously, you've been here many times, but yeah, I hear that from a lot of employers. When we tell them that training and housing is provided at no cost, people want to know, is this a scam? and rightfully so. I get that, but no, this is a focused effort, just like you mentioned. And I'll touch on that TPP as well, the Talent Pipeline Program. Phenomenal group of folks helping companies in the maritime industrial base build a better business. So we do work hand in hand with them. Obviously, on our end, as a training provider, that's our focus area. But for the networking opportunities that they provide and the connection points we can get with employers all across the country, it's surely a value add for us. All for the same mission, obviously.
Justin, I feel like I have a good explanation of ATDM when I'm talking about it from a here's how it works mechanically, here's how it works for a student. Can you kind of give the very broad overview elevator kind of pitch that you give to companies who are, unfamiliar with this program? Kind of give your pitch of how this program works, what they can expect when they engage with it.
Okay, you're gonna put me on the spot with this one. I see how it
This
goes.
is your job, right? Your job is to
I
teach
know,
companies on this.
Sometimes I think I can probably do this in my sleep, and I'll try not to fumble over my words here. But at its core, ATDM is a workforce development program for employers in the maritime industrial base. That's what it's all about. All these folks need workers. Obviously, things have got to get built specific to our national defense and our national security. Right now, the focus area is shipbuilding. Submarines is number one priority. You see this on the news. We've got a lot of effort focused on this, a lot of money that's getting pumped into it, a lot of advocates. You've seen buildsubmarines.com commercials and national marketing campaigns raising awareness for this critical effort. It's at the forefront of our life every day when you watch the news. Let's just be honest. But we've got to get people trained. And in this workforce, these ships, these submarines, the components, the services that are provided, all that's not going to happen on its own. We've got to get people trained in relevant skills. We don't have a lot of time to waste. So that's what ATDM is all about. Accelerated training in defense manufacturing. The acronym is exactly what it says it is. We are intentional about it. It is education and manufacturing smashed together. So students are here learning, but they're learning in a manufacturing environment. We've got a lot of collaboration between the program areas, specifically welding, working with NDT, CNC, working with quality control, additive, doing much of the same. That's what it's all about, is getting folks trained and in this workforce to build the things that our Navy needs to protect our freedom that we enjoy each and every day. And we're passionate about it. You can probably hear that coming through in my voice. You meet our staff here. We're super passionate about it. We do have a small piece of the puzzle to solve this problem, but it is a big one, and we're going to tackle it. As a nation, we've got to. There's no other way about it.
And to add on to that, Justin, can you talk about, obviously we're training people here. I know the goal is within, I think by 2027, we're talking about 800 to 1,000 students coming through every year. Can you talk about the two primary ways that companies can kind of engage with ATDM, whether that be, hiring graduates or using it as their own kind of training?
For sure. So for the most part, most companies will come hire our graduates at career fairs or just engage with us, our career service team. I'd say that's about 80% of company involvement is coming. I guess the best country boy way I can describe it is fishing from our pond. I don't know if that's acceptable. I don't know if that's the right audience for this, but we'll just go with it. Hey, but yeah, they'll come fish out of our pond. They'll come to career fairs, scoop up graduates, because we have, as we've scaled up, we have roughly 200 to 250 students in training at any given time. So as hiring demand ebbs and flows throughout the year, this is a constant source of talent that companies can tap into. And a lot of them will do it in that fashion. They'll come to the career fairs. We have those roughly every 2 months to have stuff ongoing throughout the year. The other piece of the equation is they can send candidates to the program. So this is a national program. Again, we're in Danville, Virginia, but the Maritime Industrial Base has suppliers all across the continental United States, even outside of the continental United States, to be honest with you. But they can tap into their local, region, their workforce or opportunity workforce, take those folks that don't have the training options in their area, send them down here to Danville to get trained, and then they go right back to them where they already have roots in the ground. So companies can take that. I call that conditional hires, folks that you want to hire after receiving the training here at ATDM. That's one option, or another one is you can upskill your existing workforce. So you might have a lower skill set laborer that's on the factory floor, comes into work every day. It's got a good attitude, a good positive team fit. Everything's working out. They might have the capability of becoming a welder, becoming a machinist, an inspector, but that company doesn't have the bandwidth to take that person and train them themselves. They can send that person here to Danville at no cost, other than company continuing to pay wages. That's a hurdle there, but that's another opportunity. So multiple ways that we can tackle this. That's why we have so many ways for opportunity here at ATDM. Just whichever the employee prefers. We're here to be a resource. That's what it is at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I can attest because we've fished from the pond. We have done conditional hires, and we have sent team members there that are part of our current team. Sent them to for training, and they've and basically had great success with all of those approaches. But the one that's worked best for us, I think, is the track that we're on currently, which is to hire, integrate team members into our operations for 1 or 2 months, and then send them through the program and return them, reinsert them into our team, and be able to move very, very quickly, which is what we've done here. And Justin knows that this is something that has probably been is recent within, I guess, the last 18 months. It's really been our approach, and we're seeing terrific success. The students that come back are engaged. They're engaged when they go, but they're certainly even more engaged when they come back, and they bring something to the rest of the team about what it means to be part of this movement and and work for great purpose, as well as the technical skills and everything else that they're bringing back that we don't have inherently in a. We're about 200 people here at our Cleveland facility, so and we're trying to grow to the point where we have a list for 30 or 35 open positions in welding, NDT, and machining. And so it's difficult for us at our size to be able to provide training or on-the-job training, and this is a much better approach to have people that can go through a program in 4 months that, through traditional training methods at local community colleges or tech schools, would take 1.5 to 2 years to get the same amount of raw training and knowledge. The accelerated part of this is transformative in terms of being able to use that as a strategy for growth.
Same thing with BAE systems. We definitely take the folks that graduate. So Justin, I can't remember if you call that a contingent hire or if it's a completer, but so our biggest focus is on those who are about to graduate. We actually come to the site, talk to the students, do information sessions, and then hire on the spot and make offers on the spot. So that's something that's been extremely valuable for us. It gives the student a little bit of comfort of knowing that they can weld in their boots that they're comfortable with. So we interview them, we give them a weld observation, and then make offers to them. So that's where we're at now. We are looking at some more NDT in the future, and then potentially CNC machining for one of our sites in Louisville, Kentucky. But more to come on that. Justin and I have been talking about that recently.
Yeah, just let me know when you're ready, Mike. I want to make it happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
You guys have talked about these career fairs. So I would say, based on my knowledge, these are not traditional career fairs. You think of a career fair where companies may or may not actually have positions available at that moment. Companies are not usually, as you just said, Mike, making offers on the spot. Talk about y'all's experiences with the career fairs.
So at the career fairs, we bring hiring managers with us. And as I stated earlier, we usually do information sessions ahead of the career fair so that the students are, they understand what we're doing. We share a day in the life of what a welder does, what a NDT person does. And so that kind of pumps them up, gets them ready for an interview. We'll talk with them face to face at the career fair, and then right after, we'll take them right over to the welding booths for those who are interested. And we get a list from the team there at ATDM of who's interested in BAE systems. And then we'll go through and interview and test them. So it is a lot different from just a normal career fair where it's more of a cattle call and you're talking to people. You may not know if they're going to be really interested in and call you back, or you trying to connect with them and then never hear back from those candidates. This is not at all what we've experienced with ATDM. The students are super prepared. Justin and his team does a great job of making sure they're prepared. They understand who we are, through their own research along with the information sessions, and just passionate about their career that they've chosen. So that's super exciting to us, to get passionate people to want to come in and work for a defense contractor like us. We're a very large defense contractor. We have multiple locations throughout the country, and specifically for Maritime Solutions Jacksonville. We have a whole lot of work going on there now. We've partnered with some great partners to do some submarine work. We work on the Navy's non-nuclear. We do modernization, overhaul. We have a new ship lift that we have just started this year. And so, yeah, super exciting times for BAE Systems right now. And I know that a lot of the candidates that we talk with are about the growth and the potential they have with BAE Systems.
And from our perspective at AT&F, we've been to a few of the career fairs, have gone and had a presence there. Our distance from Danville doesn't allow us probably to go to as many as we would like, but in those instances where we're not there, the folks at ATDM have been helpful in promoting us as part of that, as part of those career fairs. And the thing about those that's so, just imagine having that many. It's a target-rich environment. That's for talent, because that everybody's there has passed through or is nearly passed or completed the program, has been through a rigorous training, which requires quite a bit of commitment, and being timely and disciplined in terms of learning the skills that they're able to impart. But so you don't get that from a normal career fair. Any other career fair, I would imagine, would be far less relevant. And so we've had some success with that. We'd like to have more if we could figure out a way to get there for every one of them. So
stay with us. We'll be right back.
When you need reliable results, IALR delivers. Our Applied Research Division works with businesses and universities on everything from product testing to process improvement. Our expertise spans chemistry, biology, plant growth, advanced materials, and more. We've got the experts, the labs, and the tools to get you results you can use. See how at ialr.org/research.
Just from my side, those career fairs, it's truly an event. And it's morphed quite a bit from the early days when the program was kind of in its infancy stages, I guess you could say, Caleb. We didn't have as much student throughput, lower numbers of students, employer participation quite a bit lower. We're still trying to build our brand. So we'd have a career fair and might have, 10 or less companies show up to entertain, 50 or less students. Now we've got 250 students in the program at any given time, career fairs every 2 months. And if you've been to one lately in the Great Hall here at the Institute, we pack out the whole conference center. Typically we're running around 35 to 40 employers at every career fair. We got a lot of folks that come to all of them. Like Mike mentioned, everybody's not able to come to all of them, so we understand that too. We've even had, for example, Mike, when you had some folks in the program and y'all weren't able to come to a career fair, your employees represented AT&F while they were here. So that's another way to get the word out. But what better than having your employees that are in the training advertise for your company while they're here? So that's another opportunity. But what's kind of come, I had a full circle moment. It's been about a year ago when we had an employer that had hired a student from ATDM, and then for a career fair, they brought that student that's working with that employer back to stand with the recruiter and recruit for the company. That was just an amazing experience. I'd helped that person in their job placement, portion of the program here. When earlier days we had less staff, this, that, and the other. So it was great to see that come full circle. But those things are truly a full day event. We have companies come on site, interview students, on the spot job offers. I mean, it's a packed house. Just a plug, the next one's December 3rd. So it's fast approaching. I think we're already getting close to capacity there. So our career service team is doing an amazing job how they handle those career fairs. Really, all the staff here at ATDM, so hospitable. I hear nothing but good things from the employers. They are blown away when they come to those events. So we're going to keep doing it, obviously.
From the other side of this, I know roughly 85% of students who complete this program have a job lined up within 30 days of completing the program. And I think a big part of that is every student that comes through gets at least 2 cracks at a career fair where there's companies who are actively looking for them and are hiring in positions of need that they're learning the skills for at that moment. Last thing I really want to touch on is I just kind of wanted to open up to Mike and Mike for both of you to kind of talk about what you have noticed about the students who complete the ATDM program and that you all employ, both in the short term and the long term. I mean, at this point, you guys have been involved for years, so you can, it's not just, oh, they've been here for a month, they seem like they're having a good time, but like what you're seeing in the short and long term as far as the students that you all are bringing into your team, whether that be a conditional hire or whether that be hiring a graduate, and just generally, how is ATDM making an impact on your company?
Yeah, so I could start with that one. I could tell you that the students they stand out. Quite honestly, they stand out. When we have the students go through our training, because they're going to have to go back through additional training at any one of our facilities to get whatever military specifications or certifications that are required. So I was just talking to one of our hiring managers down in Jacksonville last week or 2 weeks ago when we were talking about ATDM going into the career fair. And one of the things that he enjoys the most is that they're prepared when they get there. They know about safety, which is obviously paramount, with a large defense contractor, and it's specifically in ship repair. So that is super helpful that they have a lot of understanding of safety, and they actually live it. They come down there, they're prepared, they're good to go. They have that foundation, that great foundation that is with the instructors there at the school that gives them that real world experience prior to them coming to us. So it makes our process a whole lot easier. And it's exciting to see the students move through the program as quickly as they do.
I'd echo that, but and I guess in general, from what we see, is a level of focus and discipline is much higher than we would experience through other methods of people coming on board to our team. So they're proud of the fact that they've been trained and that they're capable and can enter into our organization contributing at a high level, as opposed to having to bring someone in and that's very green, and albeit may have great great attitude and want to work for great purpose, but their ability to be able to contribute, it's muted from the standpoint that they have to go through a lengthy process of becoming assimilated to the craft, that they're performing. And in this case, it happens. That's not the issue. So there's a gusto, I guess you'd say, and a focus that's there with the students that have come through the program. And so far as I like to promote it to anybody I know that's got children that are getting ready to graduate from high school and are considering career path. A lot of people would say college is the way to go. It has been for the goal for generations, but I beat the drum that says that's not for everybody, and certainly, there's a way to have a great career and with great earnings, and become a useful part of a company by going through ATDM as opposed to spending 4 years. Albeit having fun for 4 years, because college is a fun experience, but this is far more focused and quick, and it's a great avenue for young people to become part of something great and be contributing to something as tantamount as or paramount as defending freedom.
I'm glad you brought that up, Mike, because that's a big part of this thing too. Is these students, they know coming into this, hey, this is not easy work, right? Shipbuilding is not easy. I think y'all could attest to that more than I can, because y'all are in and out of it each and every day. But these students that come through, they know that they're getting their foot in the door for a career. So this is very early career for them, but the growth opportunity is so there. I mean, you become a welder or NDT inspector or a machinist, and you master your craft. I mean, you talk about a career where you can obviously raise a family, live the American dream. I mean, and it's all tied to national security and national defense. I mean, this is really part of being something bigger than yourself. And I think these students, I tend to call them kids, but they're not. They're adults. I mean, this is an adult learner program. They know that, and they're mission focused when they come in.
The ability of this program to, yes, you have 18-year-old kids coming out of high school, and yes, you have people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. We've seen people in their 70s come through to find a new career, whether that be through a conditional hire where a company takes them on and says, you go through this program, come work here, or just go through the program and see what happens and find a job. It's cool to see that level of diversity in the student, I guess, career paths coming in. And Justin, as you said, that's a big deal to be able to have a career that provides for your family and ultimately contributes to something as important as national security.
Or to enhance your career. My son's 30 years old, and he went through the additive program, and it's just been transformative for him in terms of learning some skills in machining and additive manufacturing, which is on the horizon for us as a company, and will be a great technology for the industrial base as it's being embraced by the Navy.
That's awesome. That's all the questions that I have. Like I said, I say it all the time. This program's cool. That's I think my simple explanation of ATDM. It's really cool.
That's one way to put it, for sure.
Yeah.
But are there any other things that any of you guys would want to add, or anything else? Do you think it's important that people know?
I would just say that it's more than you would expect on several levels in terms of support and effectiveness. The resources that are part of ATDM, and just that commitment to be able to teach and house people for that period of time, and to provide them with that, what's the total number of hours of training that are involved? 8 hours a day times
Yeah, they get 600 hours. Yep.
600 plus, right? So you can become get private pilot certificate after 70 or 80 hours of training, right? So you're getting 600 hours of concentrated training for to learn a craft that's desperately needed, and that, I mean, getting your head around that and understanding that is I think the thing that I would say you would be underestimating the program if you thought it was just another training program. So, because it is that element of it that concentrated effort and all the support that the students receive, through that process. I mean, they're coming out running, and it's just a neat thing to see.
I was going to say, one of the things that I definitely want to touch on is that the support that you get from the faculty there, the staff there at ATDM, is just outstanding. Ever since we've started this process partnering with ATDM, anytime we call and we ask for, any type of help, the staff, the faculty is always willing to help us. One of the things that I had an opportunity to participate in this year was the summit, and to see all of the industry partners come in and talk about all the success of what ATDM does for them, getting them the talent that they need is just outstanding. One of our strategies for BAE Systems is driving operational excellence, and we see nothing but excellence coming from the school. The students that come out of there are just outstanding.
And I'll just add to that, Mike, definitely appreciate the relationship I have with both y'all at AT&F and BAE Systems. And my team surely appreciates it as well. All the relationships we have with these various companies in the maritime industrial base. But kind of like we talked about earlier, there's still some skepticism out there. For those that are skeptical and maybe listening to this, I invite you to come see us. Come see us firsthand. I mean, we're an open book. We want you to come see this facility. We want you to engage with our students. We want to make a difference for this nation. One day the history books are going to be written one way or another. And I'm hoping what it's going to say is we tackled this problem. We tackled this challenge. Our Navy was able to get everything they needed to continue protecting our freedom. We've got to get these submarines built. We've got to get these ships built. It's paramount for our national security. This is one of many efforts, but it's a big part of it to help solve that problem. And we invite all these companies in the maritime industrial base to tap into it. We're here to be a resource.
I got nothing to add on to that. That's a good closer. Good job, guys. We'll see you next time. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
At IALR, we're training people for careers supporting the construction and maintenance of ships and submarines. ATDM, or Accelerated Training in Defense Manufacturing, gets students ready for defense manufacturing careers in just 16 weeks. Skills like machining, welding, additive manufacturing, non-destructive testing, and metrology. The best part? Most graduates land great jobs right away. If you want a fast track to a career with impact, check out atdm.org.